Welcome back to another episode of Zero to Hero, my starter edition Star Citizen account. This is all about purchasing the cheapest version of the game and seeing what life is like in the verse without spending money on actual ships. In the last few episodes, I explored the most popular ways of making money in the verse right now in 3.17. This was going and doing bounty missions with bounty certifications, doing bunker missions, going to caves and selling gems, and then also doing rock mining on the moon of Aberdeen. And I've actually made some pretty decent starting cash. I'm sitting around like 350,000 AUEC, and I also had a fuck up where I accidentally purchased a buggy for like 80,000 AUEC, so we probably would have more. But up until this point, we definitely have enough cash to go and buy body armor, different weapons, med pens, and even attachments for ships. So far, I've been pretty reliant on rentals like the Avenger Titan and the Cutlass Black. Whenever you actually get rentals in Star Citizen, it's awesome that you can fly them, but you're unable to customize their loadouts, weaponry, quantum units, nothing. You just get the basic starting loadout, and in some cases that's good enough, but in the current version of the game, Gatling guns, especially the lower tier Gatling guns, don't have enough ammunition to be used reliably for long-term bounties, or like going after PvE missions to make money, which is really what I want to do here. So if I want to upgrade a fighter ship, then we're going to have to go with the Mustang, because the Mustang is actually my real starter ship. I've barely flown it so far. And I was actually curious on how good we can make the Mustang to push us through to like 1.3 million AUEC, where I can actually purchase my very first ship, which is going to be the Cutlass Black. So that's what I decided to do. I went over to Lorville to start buying some modifications for the Mustang. It will be a small monetary investment, but we'll make all the money back after a few bounties running our new ship. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do for the Mustang is pick up some weapons. So we're going to be doing the laser repeaters with the attritions, which are purchasable in Lorville. Now the Mustang can be fitted with 4 different weapons, 2 size 2s and 2 size 1s. And the Mustang is also fitted with a gimbaled turret on the front where you fit your size 2 weapons. That means that you can have your gimbals on size 1 and 2s without sacrificing any damage or downgrading your firepower. If you're wondering what a gimbal is, basically it allows the gun to move around freely on your ship, making it easier for you to land shots on enemy targets. There's also an auto gimbal, which allows the weapons to track the enemy ships in front of your field of view and landing those shots automatically, giving you the opportunity to focus more on your flying and power management. So after we have the weapons, the next piece of the puzzle is to get some better shields, because the standard shields for the Mustang aren't super great. But the good news is you do get 2 shield generators, which is more than I expected. I actually thought that was only going to get 1 choice. Although you have lots of options to choose from, there are 2 that you should consider. The FR66, which is a military grade shield, and the Mirage, which is a stealth class shield. Now stealth really isn't working very well in Star Citizen, if at all. However, it is still very similar to the FR66, and it's right next door at Hurston L2, which is pretty close by, so I don't have to travel halfway across the verse in a really slow quantum drive, which is the last upgrade I'm looking for. Now, you won't really get any options that are going to make it decent for traveling to Crusader to Hurston much faster, but you will be able to upgrade it so you can fly in systems like Hurston and all of its moons, traveling around really quickly. And the quantum drive that I'm looking for is called the Atlas. Now, unfortunately, the unit that I was looking for wasn't being sold here, so we're going to have to find it somewhere else. But I just spent a lot of time buying some new shields and lots of new weapons for the Mustang to go out there and do some combat missions. So instead of traveling all the way across the verse for a quantum drive that I don't really need right now, I'm going to start taking on some bounty missions and leveling up Hurston security. The biggest reason why I'm leveling up Hurston is simply because I am here and my respawn point is also here, and I have a lot of items at Everest Harbor and other spaceports that makes it easier for me to travel around. But all the missions are very similar to each other, so if you're in Crusader, Microtech, Area 18, you're going to be able to start doing these like very low risk and low risk target missions to start building up your reputation to hopefully unlock more interesting missions. Now, the one drawback to the Mustang as a starter fighter is it doesn't have missiles. You only get the 4 gimbaled weapons. Now, unless we have electromagnetic missiles, it's not going to be that big of a deal anyway, because the enemies like to use their decoys, and so do other players and even myself. Like, more often than not, the missiles are going to miss anyway. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So let's accept some bounties and go take a peek and see what this Mustang has to offer. The jack of all trades, but the master of none. So this was my first bounty ever done in a Mustang, so I still have to work on power management and also setting up my keybinds. I haven't done that yet, but I do get to that down the road after a little bit more practice, because I'm still kind of rusty. I'm still a greenhorn whenever it comes to dogfighting. Lots to learn, so the best way to learn is by just doing more missions. Come on, big boy.
Target has been destroyed.
Yo, this is working out quite well. I mean, this ship's not... you know, it's working better than I expected. I'll tell you that. I need my lasers to fucking recharge here for a sec. Contact. And getting you use 1, 2, 3, 4 for power settings. Contact. Oh well. How many decoys do I got left? 40? Okay, I gotta keep an eye on that. Boys, can you stop firing rockets at me? Would really appreciate it. Going for this guy first. Oh, there's the Buccaneer. Probably go for this guy next. Wouldn't mind getting around behind this guy. I don't know if he's gonna let me though. Oh, look at that. And we're back.
Engine systems power running low.
What the fuck did I do? Oh. Listen, little jam in the power system, in the engine system button. I just little jam. Just a little jam. What's going on here?
Shields disabled.
Uh-oh.
Your journey
Uh-oh. What the fuck's going on? What happened? No, don't blow up. Don't. Nope.
running low.
What the hell's going on here? Yeah. Oh, fuck. Well, you know what? Sometimes it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what happens. Eject. You know, I think I pressed the wrong key, and that's it. I just turned off the engines. And then... Pull it. I'm blacked out. Yeah, you're alive. I'm alive for now. Oh, Jesus Christ. How do I, is there an eject button? You know, it's been worse. This is fine. Yeah, counter roll. I'm just trying to fucking just exit the cockpit. Hold Y. Let's just fucking hold Y. Fucking get me out of here, boys. Fuck. I'll come back for you later. I'll come back, I swear. I actually thought we were going to be fine. With the moon's gravity. Well, well, sometimes, okay, so lesson. The takeaway is don't press I on accident under any circumstances. So yeah, this is still like my first session actually trying to dogfight in the Mustang, and I still have yet to reassign my key bindings, like putting the power settings on 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of reaching over and trying to press the F keys, which in this case I accidentally turned off the power, and that was, well, a tragic end. But you know what? You learn by making mistakes, and now I'm going to try to not do that again, turning off the power in the middle of a fight. Yeah, not something that you should do for sure. But got to get back out there. The good thing is with the Mustang, the insurance is pretty much immediately, which is crazy. This is the basic version of the game. Even if you do a destroyed ship, it pretty much comes back instantly, as you can see with the claim. Like $300 if you want to actually just purchase it outright. It's back at the station, 0 downtime, which is actually a lot of fun. One of the reasons why I like this ship. I'm just gonna keep on doing like flybys on this guy. Oh shit! That's what I was about to say. Holy shit. Whoops. Oh yeah, there we go. We're getting them. Man, those dude, it just takes a minute. It just takes a minute. All right. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. No! It's the fucking gimbals, boys. They get me every time. I have to go back in. I have to go back in. F9. Can't press F9 this time. Okay. We definitely took some damage there. He's just kind of, maybe, did he get EMP'd or something like that? He just kind of gave up? He's got no more engines. So I just kept on accepting as many missions as I possibly could around Hurston, just accepting them and then also experimenting with different power modes, managing my speed, and trying to be a little bit more aware of what's actually going on, and focusing as well on the engines of a lot of my enemies, not just shooting my target. I find because I have to use a lot of firepower to kill some ships, going after cutlasses and focusing specifically on destroying their engines makes it a lot easier for me to kill targets that are going to take a lot more time and a lot more shots on those critical components. I also noticed that any of the AI that actually had turrets and gunners, those guys were doing a lot of damage to me, so I had to be super careful, disengage, regenerate those shields before jumping back into the fight and changing my powers over to my weapons. It really did hit me that the Mustang is really not as bad of a fighter as people think. Like, it's very comparable to a lot of the other fighters out there, but the biggest thing is you don't have those missiles. And when missiles start to work, I can definitely see how this ship is going to fall to the sidelines in comparison to some of the others. The fact that it has 4 weapons and it also has pretty decent shields, really great maneuverability, good speed, and you have a canopy which is completely clear, allowing you to see everybody around you. I do think that this is a very underrated ship, especially when it comes to people that purchase the $45 version of the game. The biggest drawbacks is it's really difficult to actually loot anything and store it on the Mustang. It's difficult to do cargo missions, but not impossible. And you do not have a bed in the Mustang allowing you to log out. It would be kind of nice if the devs allowed people to log out inside their cockpit. I feel like that'd be a nice balancing move, because for now, if you don't have a ship with a bed, you're missing out on a really big way of saving your progress, especially on servers that are not doing so well. Oh my god, this is amazing. This is amazing. This place is amazing. Holy shit, man. I know this game's got a long way to go, but this has to be one of the greatest views I've ever seen in video games. My god, this is incredible. That's insane. And the fact that you just go anywhere. You're not restricted here at all. Like, you can, this is not some fucking skybox bullshit. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Sponsored content? No. I mean, I'm genuinely shocked. Like, I'm actually, if you're not impressed by this, I don't know. Like, I am. Maybe that's just me, but wild. It's one of the reasons why I think Zero to Hero is a really good example of what Star Citizen players that don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money can expect with their gameplay and what they can experience in the verse. And moments like that really do make it worth it, in my opinion. This is an artistic masterpiece of a space game. The level of detail that goes into everything is so good. I guess we're just all waiting for that level of detail to not just be with how the game works and looks, but also some of the content that will hopefully come to this game in the future. Now, the next day, I was actually listening to a podcast and experimenting with some pirate missions, basically the same as the bounty hunter missions, but going after security. And while I was flying around, a bounty hunter, another player, was trying to come and kill me to take the bounty in a Connie. This is a much bigger ship with lots of HP, but I decided to take on the challenge because I knew that the Mustang would easily be able to outmaneuver the Connie, and I'm assuming he didn't have any players on the turrets or not much assistance, so it definitely made it a little bit easier for me to engage. But after all this practice, especially on PvE, it was nice to get my first challenger. But unfortunately, because I was listening to that podcast, I wasn't really able to include the full fight, but at least I have it recorded here so you guys can see the first authentic PvP moment I've had on the account. After I killed my first bounty hunter, I was then continuing to do some of these pirate bounty missions while playing offline, and I had another bounty hunter try to come and kill me, but this time they seemed like they knew a little bit more what they were doing, and they were in a Gladius, which is one of the best fighters in the entire game. So at this point, I know that the Mustang has more than enough firepower to kill our Gladius, but if you can notice, my ship is half damaged. Not from this player, but from just flying around for a few hours doing various things, bumping into asteroids, getting into other fights versus AI. If one of my thrusters gets shot off the Mustang, it is completely game over. So I know that the shields are not going to be enough, especially if I want to joust this guy, which is basically just flying point blank into him, and it's a DPS battle. I made the decision that I'm going to do the best that I can to evade this other player, move over to Grimhex, and try to repair my ship. So I got pretty lucky here. I think my enemy went way too fast, flew by me, and went into the asteroid field and was trying to loop back around, and I was able to quantum travel away. Now, Grimhex is a lawless territory, meaning outside of the zone, you don't have a comma rate, meaning crime is available, and it's also a PvP location. Lots of players like to use this as their primary hub and even fight directly outside of Grimhex because the armistice zone is really small. Now, this player was admittedly waiting for me to get out of the hangar so he can come and track me again. So then I had an idea. What if I accept a mission somewhere, in this case it's on Daymar, I'm going to fly over there right away and act like I'm going to completely ignore this guy, like I don't even care about him. I'm going to see if this guy can be baited into going full speed out of quantum into an atmosphere situation where I should be able to outmaneuver this player pretty easily if I'm going to be flying at a regular speed, and then also using my gimbals, because I already know that the gimbaled weapons can destroy the Gladius pretty fast. I'm hoping that with that extra speed, they won't be able to maneuver out of the line of fire, and I should be able to kill this guy pretty easily. So that was my plan. This was actually so awesome to actually defeat another. I was so excited. Huckle was on the server. I was trying to type to him to let him know that the bounty hunter actually was taken out. What an awesome moment, man, because I spent a few days practicing how to fly my Mustang, power management, PvE, and PvP. Learn a lot more about how to be a successful dogfighter, and I feel like that was a good first step in the right direction. Also utilizing a little bit of game knowledge and also baiting this guy into a situation where I know I would possibly have the advantage to make it happen. So it was a good feeling, I gotta say, and I really want to do some more dogfighting sometime soon in Star Citizen. Until next time, guys, thanks again for watching. If you're new, subscribe here for some more videos or watch my live stream Monday through Friday starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.